Hi all, welcome to the KP classes. My name is Vinay and in today's class we are going to discuss about some very interesting uses of a line. So there are so many different type of designs you can make by using very basic lines as well as the advanced lines. So let's discuss about the very first part of it, which is known as a very basic line drawing. What does it mean? We have to draw something very basic line drawing. I'm going to give you some relevant examples. If you are wanting to make spiral like this is made of a very basic line. Apart from this, we can draw other things as well. If I'm wanting to make a creature, so how can you draw that? If you are also wanting to make that same thing, we can add lines like this, and you don't have to close the section. You are supposed to draw something very basic like this. Also, I will give you one more example. If you're wanting to make a dolphin or a kind of fish, so how you would make that. Something like this. So this is a very basic example. How can we use our HB or 2B pencil to use that in a very freehand way? You don't have to use any scale or anything for this. Now coming to the second portion of it, that is how can we make some kind of shapes by using a very simple line. As you know that we have a number of shapes. We have triangle, we have circle, also we have square, rectangle, and so on. So would like to give you a very practical example of it. How can you use the very basic shapes to convert that into something logical? So the question might come that you are supposed to design a graphic for something like a printing for a fabric, or maybe the graphic designing purposes. So you are supposed to make a 2D design by using a very basic 2D shapes. So what I'm going to do for that, see this very carefully. This is my space. In this space I'll be using two shapes only. My first shape, the one I'm going to use, is a circle. Now the second shape I'll be using, that is a triangle. So it is your choice if you're wanting to use your geometrical instruments like the scale and the compass to make it. Otherwise you can draw by using your freehand skills. So I am making a very interesting design made of circles and triangles. So I'm making different sizes of circles. It's the part of my design. I'm making something very abstract. You also can do the same thing. So this is the first part. I'm done with the circles. Now the second thing I would like to add here, that is triangles of different dimensions. It doesn't matter, you can use any dimensions, but the basic shape should be the same, that is a triangle. Okay, so this is a very interesting design done by very basic 2D shapes. Now would like to take one more example to make you understand. Okay, so I would like to make something, a pictogram or some kind of motif by using lines, and that picture should be 2D. You don't have to draw anything into 3D. So I am making a motif that is inspired by Egyptian culture or Egyptian art. What I'm going to do for that, see this. I would like to make a horizontal line first of all, and we'll be adding individual diagonal line here, and we'll do the same thing here in the lower section. Now one more individual diagonal line in opposite direction, as well as going to do the same thing. So this is my first space, that is 2D. Now in the next section, what I'm going to do here, I would like to add one more horizontal line here, and it shouldn't be very long. You are supposed to draw something like this, as you see on the screen. Now what I'm going to do here, I'll be connecting this by using the diagonal lines, something like this. And I would like to add few more lines. I'm going to add here a perfect vertical line as well as here a perfect vertical line. Okay, now connecting these lines by using one more horizontal line. So let me erase unwanted lines as well from here. As you can notice in this picture, all the lines I have here are either vertical line, horizontal line, or the diagonal lines. Okay, I would like to erase these lines as well in the inside section. So this is my starting structure of the picture, that the one I'm going to make. Now what I would like to do here, I will be adding some horizontal line in the upper part as well. So you don't have to draw in the entire section, you just need to draw right in the left hand side space, as you can see in this screen. One more. So you, if you want to, you can use your scale. For now you are supposed to put your scale horizontally and you have to draw the lines in the required section only. Do not draw in the front part. Okay, we need these horizontal lines in the right and the left hand side sections. Okay, add it in the entire part. One more like this, and this is the last one. So all these lines are the horizontal lines. Okay, now what I'm going to do here, I would like to add some more things here in the same picture. So I would like to add a vertical line here in the upper part. I'll be adding one more vertical line here, which is parallel to the previous one, and one more in the mid. So I have two vertical lines here. Now I would add a horizontal line here in this section, and going to do the same thing here in the lower part. And we'll make sure to erase extra lines which are actually not needed, and would like to erase this internal horizontal line which is not needed. Now I will do one more thing here, that I would like to add the same motif or the same design in the lower section. You can make some changes as well depending on your choice. So this is the lower section I have. Okay, now what I'm going to do here, I would like to add the features of this picture, the one I'm making. So would like to add this by using curved lines, this as well. This is also part of the curved lines. Give me a moment. Okay, we'll do one thing. To draw this, we are going to use a different technique. That is the same technique we use to make faces, the human faces. So see this, what I'm going to do for that. First of all, I would like to divide this section by using very light lines, and I'll be using one more freehand horizontal line and one more horizontal line here and one more here. So this is the space. Now I'll be using this graph to make the features. So see this, a curved line, one more curved line. Going to do the same thing here, a curved line, one more curved line, and this is for the nose. Make sure to draw everything in 2D. You don't have to add the sketching part into it. And once we are done, we'll erase the graph we drawn. So this is the image, and at the end I would like to add the ears by using curved lines. Fine, so we are done with this. This is a very basic motif, you can say, or you can say this is a kind of pictogram related to Egyptian art and culture, right? So this was a very interesting example. Now coming to the next section of the uses of lines, I would like to discuss how do we draw something which is in 3D by using these kind of basic and advanced lines. So how can we convert a line into a form? Form is generally, we call form to the 3D elements like cube, cuboid and other things. So let's see this one as well. So I would like to make a composition made of different type of 3D forms. So I would like to take a very basic example. First of all, I'll be using a vertical line here and would like to use one more vertical line here which is parallel to the previous one, and we'll convert this into, first of all, into a rectangle like this. Now what I'm going to do, I would like to make I will convert this into a 3D form which is a cylinder. Okay. Now I would like to add one more 3D form which is like connected to this form. So I'm going to make a sphere like this and would like to make sure that it is actually should look 3D and connected to this one. So how can I do that? Adding one more curved line here. And this. So let's erase some unwanted lines here. After that it will look very interesting. So I'm going to erase this line out of the sphere I have, and from the cylinder I would like to erase some lines. Fine, so this is a good and very basic example to connect two 3D forms to each other. Now I would like to give you some other examples which are also quite easy to understand. If you are wanting to make a 3D form, so how can you do that? Let's take one example over here. So there's a technique called perspective that we will be discussing in a different class. For now, I'm just going to explain you how would you draw something 3D. Like I want to make a cuboid, so I'll be using a vertical and a horizontal line here, and we'll do the same thing, a vertical line and a horizontal line, something like this. So this picture has two vertical and two horizontal lines. Okay, now I want to convert this picture into a 3D image. This is a rectangle, so the very basic 3D of a rectangle is a cuboid. So to convert this into a cuboid, what I'm going to do here, from the corner, this corner, I'll be using a line which is an individual diagonal line. This is also an individual diagonal line which is parallel to the previous one, and this as well. So these three lines are parallel to each other, going to a different direction. Now This is called section cutting. To cut the section, you just need to draw the horizontal line in the upper part, and here in the right hand side you are supposed to draw a vertical line. Now once you are done with this, you have to erase extra lines, the unwanted lines. Okay, so this is a very basic 3D form, which is a cuboid. Now let's take one more example. If I am wanting to make a cone, how can you draw a cone? First of all, you have to draw a vertical line, and you have to convert that vertical line into a diagonal line and one more diagonal line in a different direction, and this is a triangle. So what I'm going to do here, I am converting my triangle into a cone. So this triangle. Now what I would like to do here, I'll be adding a curved line in this horizontal part of the cone. Okay, so this is what I have. Now what I'm going to do here, I'll be erasing this upper part because I just need the lower curve of this oval, and also I'm erasing the lower horizontal line. So this is a very basic 3D form, which is a cone, and I have drawn this cone by using diagonal lines as well as the curved lines. Okay, now we can draw a lot of 3Ds by using this technique to convert the lines. We can draw anything, whatever we want to, because 3D has a lot of things to understand. I'm going to give you one more example here. If you're wanting to draw a book, so how would you draw that? So here I'm going to make a very small vertical line, as you can see, and I'll be using the upper tip of this vertical. I would like to make two lines which are going to a different direction from left to right, and here as well, one line, another line. So how many lines we have? We have diagonal lines as well as the vertical lines. Okay, now one more vertical line I would like to make here, and from this upper tip I'll be making one more line which is going to a different direction, that is a diagonal line. Going to do the same thing here, a vertical line and a diagonal line. So this is what I have. I have a cuboid, and I would like to convert this cuboid into a book. Please erase unwanted lines. Now this is a very basic cuboid. What I want to do here, I would like to convert this into a book. So what I'm going to do for that, I'll be adding some more elements here. So this is the line in the upper part. I'm adding something like this. Give me a moment. Okay. Now I would like to do the same thing in the lower section. One vertical line here. That's it. Now let me erase unwanted lines here so that I would convert this into a proper book. Okay, so this is what I have here. I'll be adding more lines of different intensities here as well as here. Fine, so this is a very basic structure of a book in 3D, and we have drawn by using curved lines, diagonal lines as well as the vertical lines. Fine. So coming to the next section, we'll discuss more things about uses of line. The next and one of the important part, that is how do we make textures by using the lines. Okay, so would like to take this as well. So we have a lot of different type of techniques to apply different type of textures, and I would like to discuss some of them here. So see this, what I'm going to do here. So to make some different type of textures, what we do, the first one, the very basic one I am going to discuss here, that is called cross hatching. Let me write down the name. Cross hatching. Okay, now in the cross hatching, what we do, we make lines in different directions. Like I'm making these lines are coming from up to down, and I'm gonna make different type of lines which are coming from up to down but from a different direction. Okay, now I would like to make lines which are moving left to right, and we'll make more lines from different angle or direction. So this is creating all together, all the lines are creating very interesting texture which we can use generally for the outfits or something. Like I'm making a fabric, I want to make a fabric which is made out of jute. So how would I show the jute part? I'll be using this specific texture to do that. Okay, now I would like to take one more example here. We make different type of textures to show different type of surfaces. So if I want to show the surface of wood, for example, so how would I draw the texture? I'll be using this. So this is a specific doodle, we can say, to show the texture of a wood. There are some natural textures as well, which is you can easily find them in nature. There are some human made texture as well, which is a very normal part for the graphic design as well as the fabric printing design, and there are so many other examples available. Now I would like to take few more examples, and as you know, these are the texture I'm making here. These are virtual textures. We have two type of textures now, virtual and actual. So this is what I'm making. It is for the printing purposes more, or the sketching purposes. So this is also a spiral texture. Spiral texture. Now there are so many different textures. Some of them you can create by yourself. Texture can be related to a specific culture, specific religion, and there are so many different aspects as well. So here what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a texture which is actually the part of Tibetan Buddhism. You probably have seen in some of the pictures related to that specific region. In Thangaka art, we generally have this type of border which is made of by using multiple curve lines. So we can say this is a specific culture related motif, or the texture you can say. Okay, so this is related to Tibetan Buddhism. Fine, so we have taken examples of textures. How do we make textures? We'll be discussing more when we will be making some more practical drawings in upcoming classes. Okay. My name is Vinay Unyal, and in today's lecture we are going to discuss about different values of pencil colors as well as the drawing pencils. So starting with the very basic one, I have taken this HB pencil. So what is the meaning of value? You will be learning value through the practical examples in this class. So the meaning of value is the darkness and the lightness of a specific pencil or the color. So I'm going to show you an example of a drawing pencil first of all. See this, I have HB pencil. I'm going to apply this pencil by applying heavy pressure, as you can see in the video. And I'm going to slightly changing my pressure dark to medium. I'm going to change it to medium to light. So what you can see here, I'm using same pencil, that is HB pencil, but the starting part has the dark value and the end part has light value. Okay, using the same pencil. And I'm gonna give you one more example. I have 6B pencil here, so I'm gonna do the same process in reverse. So applying 6B with heavy pressure and slightly changing my pressure to medium to light. Right, so this has the same thing, started with the dark part and ended till light. So why we are learning the value section here in this video, because whenever you're going to make, you're wanting to make that very hyper realistic, and as per the question, from a specific source light is coming either from right to left or left to right, you are supposed to make those articles with right shade and the shadow and the sketching part. So this value is going to help you a lot, because sometimes you are supposed to make by using your sketching pencil, sometimes you are supposed to add the colored pencils, whatever the medium is. Now apart from this, we have this blending stump, which is going to help you a lot when you are going to add different type of values in your artwork. It will make everything quite smooth depending on the article you are going to make. If you're wanting to make it very smooth, like you're making a portrait for example, so you can apply all these tools. This is one of them, the blending stump. Okay, now I'm gonna give you one more example. How do we make things? Like the example I'm going to give you here, I would like to make a 3D vegetable or maybe a fruit. So I'm making a very random circle here, and I would like to convert this into a 3D. So what I'm going to do for that, see this very carefully. I'll be adding dark value in this section, the left hand side portion, applying multiple layers of my 4B pencil. And instead using other pencils, I would prefer this blending stump to spread the pencil portion. As well as I would like to add some cast shadow here. Whatever the object is, it is making shadow. So it will be quite helpful for me to show this in a right way. Okay, so this is just an example. How do we use value to make things? Okay. Now I would like to give you one more example, that is by using colored pencils. We discussed the normal regular pencils. Now the next part is how can we show the value by using colors. So I'm going to use colors here to show the different value. I would like to take a color which is the red would be fine, I guess. So to show the value, what I'm going to do here, I'll be using this pencil color. The heavy pressure, the medium pressure, going towards very light pressure. So we have three type of pressures, whether we are using colored pencils or the regular pencils. We have heavy pressure, medium pressure, and light pressure, which is changing the value of the color, dark to light or light to dark. I'm going to do the same thing here, and we'll do this in a reverse section. So I'm starting with the light part, the medium part, the dark, in a rhythmic way. Okay. So I'm going to give you some practical example of this as well, that how can you use a colored pencil to show the different type of values. I'm going to make a circle or an oval. Using this brown shade, the dark pressure, the heavy pressure to show the darkness, medium pressure, and at the end I'll be adding the light pressure. As well as you're supposed to add the shadow, but you can use different type of colors as well to show its shadow. And generally, to blend the pencil colors we don't prefer the blending stumps. We have different type of blenders available, like I have one here. I'll be using this to blend. Fine, so I've given you the practical examples that how can we show the value through the color as well as the regular pencils. I hope you like this. For more details, you guys can visit kpclasses.in, and also you can download our app, that is KP Classes Exam Prep. Thank you so much for watching this video. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.